If your stretch velvet looks rippled, crushed, or cheap after sewing, I'm going to show you why and how to fix it. Today I'm going to show you how to sew stretch velvet fabric so that way your pile stays smooth, your seams aren't wavy, and everything still stretches. And we're going to be using professional sewing techniques. First, let's talk a little bit about stretch velvet and why it might be misbehaving. So knit fabric not only has a pile to it, it has a height to it, that's what a pile is. It also stretches. So stretch fabric's hard to sew, piled fabric's hard to sew. So we have got the perfect storm here working against us. Two really hard things to sew in one fabric. So another problem with sewing stretch velvet fabric is that everything you do to it is visible because it also has a nap, which means it has a direction. So these little fibers on top, if you feel them, they feel softer going down and they feel rougher coming up. So if we cut them out opposite, the light hits them differently. So when the light hits them differently, this is where you get all of these really deep creases and folds that you see, which can be beautiful in a garment. But when you're trying to create a plain seam, your mistakes become very, very noticeable because of the nap in the pile on this fabric. So the first thing to getting a beautiful stretch velvet seam is making sure you're cutting out your fabric properly. And the way you cut out stretch velvet fabric is different from any other fabric. Take a look at this fabric. Can you believe this is the same fabric? Now this is just me cutting a piece and just turning it upside down, because look at that. Now they both look the same, but if I take the other one and I flip it, see how the light is catching the pile and the nap differently? So when we are cutting out our pattern pieces, we really have to pay attention to how we're laying them on the fabric. Otherwise, half of your dress could look like this and the other half could look like that. Or one sleeve's like this and the other one's like that. So it's very important when cutting everything out to make sure your pattern pieces are all laid out going the same direction. Just to give an example, I've got some pattern pieces here and I have them both laid out the same direction. It's also really important to make sure you're following your grain line that is parallel with the selvage, because if we're cutting it a little bit crooked, it's going to show a difference in how it is sewing and laying, because it's all about how that light is reflecting off of this velvet. It's going to show every single imperfection. But that's not all. There's a few more things you need to consider when cutting out your stretch velvet fabric. So next we're going to talk about why you should only be cutting out single layers of velvet. So every pattern piece, one at a time. Real quick, before we move on to the next step, this video is presented by Art Fabrics. Art Fabrics is an amazing fabric printing company that's based out of Canada. You can design a custom print on their website with their tools, or you can create one of your own and send it in. They have tons of fabric qualities to choose from. They have natural fabrics, a bunch of great synthetic fabrics. They even have vegan leathers. I'm super excited about these. And what I'm most excited about is this glitter performance fabric. It glitters and it stretches. Super cool. I've been having fabric printed at Art Fabrics for years and I love the quality. So if you're looking to have fabric custom printed, definitely check them out. There's a link down below in the description. So normally when we're cutting something out that says cut to, we place our fabric right sides together and then we place our pattern piece on top and we start cutting out. Now, the problem with this when cutting out stretch velvet fabric is the pile itself moves on top. It shifts around. So even though maybe you weighted it or pinned it perfectly, when you go to cut it, your blade hits the velvet and it shifts it. So it's going to be best if you're cutting out your stretch velvet fabric one layer at a time so you don't get that extra shift in there. You just have to remember, once you cut one out with your pattern face up, you have to flip it over and make sure you're cutting one out face down. So that way you're still getting a mirrored image of your pattern piece, unless you're creating something that's asymmetrical. And one more thing, before we start sewing our velvet, we need to cut out our fabric pieces. So let's talk about rotary cutter versus scissors when cutting out stretch velvet fabric. So on this side of the sleeve, I'm going to use the rotary cutter, and on this side, I'm going to use scissors so you can see the difference. So when we are using a rotary cutter, what it does is it pushes the fabric forward a little bit. You can see it moving slightly in front of the blade. Now always go slow if you are using a rotary cutter. so that way you don't move the fabric too much. But you can see it moving in front of me where the blade is. So obviously it's going to cut the velvet, but it does push it a little while we are cutting. So you really need to be careful about that. And on this side, I'm going to use the scissors, and the scissors have an action where it's coming down on top of the fabric. It's not pushing it forward. And you can see this while we're cutting. It's not pushing the fabric forward like the rotary cutter did. So I really love using the rotary cutter, but obviously the scissors cut it a little bit smoother. It didn't push the fabric away. So if you are having trouble cutting the velvet with your rotary cutter, definitely switch over to your scissors. Okay, we are going to get sewing soon, but there's one more thing. Now, when we are marking our velvet, we want to make sure we are marking on the wrong side so we're not crushing the velvet, and choose a tool that's not going to require a lot of pressure. So I'm just using a water-soluble fabric marker here. So these are great, water erasable, shoot it with some water after and it's gone. Because the one thing you don't want to do is mark on the velvet side and crush the pile of the velvet. Now what you've been waiting for, we are going to start sewing. And as you can imagine, when we put those two pile fabrics together to create a seam, it's going to get a little tricky. So when we place our two layers together, they never really want to lay perfectly on top of each other because of the pile. So they creep around and move a lot. So we need to be careful when we're laying these layers on top. So you can see if I put these two layers together, it really wants to move around. And it's basically spongy feeling because there's so much pile here. So one thing that can help us have a nice seam with this pile is a walking foot. This is going to control the top layer of the fabric, and the feed dog on your sewing machine are going to control that bottom layer. So the walking foot is going to work with your feed dog to clamp the fabric and pull it through the machine. You can also use a knit foot for sewing the velvet. That could also help you out when controlling the layers. But today I'm going to be using the walking foot because I think most of you have this over the knit foot. One other thing we need to change is our needle. So I like using universal needles or jersey needles. Now this can really depend on your stretch velvet. So try universal out. If you're getting skipped stitches, head on over to a jersey needle or a different type of ballpoint needle. You might be wondering what kind of thread to use. Well, you can just use all-purpose thread. Now let's go over to the sewing machine and talk about stitch type, length, and tension. So for choosing a stitch, you want to choose a knit stitch. I always call this one the lightning bolt stitch because if we make it a little longer, it starts to look like a lightning bolt. So select this knit stitch or another knit stitch that your sewing machine has. You just do not want to use a straight stitch because it's going to pop and fall apart because we're sewing with a stretchy fabric. So as always, test out everything on a scrap first. Now, if your seam is rippling and bubbling, you want to make your stitch length smaller. So if you have ripples in your seam, smaller stitch length. And then we're going to go over to the foot pressure and we're going to make our foot pressure less. So I'm going to say try 3 or 4 for your foot pressure. And then your length 1.5 or 2. I'm going to go with 2 here. So shorter stitch length, less foot pressure. This is going to help prevent your fabric from puckering and waving out at the seams. Now we're ready to sew. I've got my built-in walking foot on. I've got my stitch length selected, my stitch. I've got the proper needle on. We are ready to sew this velvet. And when you're sewing, you are going to back stitch like normal. So make sure you're back stitching. And continue. And when you're handling the fabric, make sure you're not actually pulling it. You do need to guide it, but don't pull it. When you get to the end of your seam, you can also back stitch in your velvet. And let's go take a look at this. You can see our seam is super flat. It's beautiful. Everything's lined up. And most importantly, it still stretches. There are no stitches popping. So look at the big difference between the seam I sewed before without the adjustments and the seam we've sewn after with the adjustments. What a huge difference everything we did made into getting a perfect seam in that stretch velvet. Now let's turn it right side out. Look at how perfect this seam looks in stretch velvet fabric. It is gorgeous. And look at the outside of that seam before we made all those adjustments. You can see all these bubbles and these peaks, and it's pulling and it's wobbly, not laying flat at all. This one here, laying perfectly flat and smooth, and I have not even ironed this. Now you know how to sew beautiful seams in stretch velvet fabric. I would love to know what kind of projects you are creating out of stretch velvet. Leave it down below in the comments. It's such a beautiful, fun fabric to work with, especially when it sews up nice for you. Thank you so much for watching Sew Anastasia today. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comments and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And if you're enjoying the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when the new tutorials come out. We put a few of them out every single week. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for watching today. These videos are for you guys. So let me know what other videos you would like to see on working with specific fabrics. And if you want to learn even more about sewing, make sure you check out my online courses. And I also have an online sewing club where you get a new pattern of tutorials every single month, and it gives you access to our online sewing community in the Discord, which is a lot of fun. Make sure you check everything out. The links are down below in the description. And if you want to know what's going on in the studio and what the little kitten's up to, make sure you check out my Instagram stories. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye!